Welcome to The Good We Share, your hype squad for humanity. I'm Kate Schaefer, and this is the place where we celebrate people and purpose out loud. Each episode shines a light on the humans who show up with intention, who lead with heart, and who remind us that goodness is not an accident. It's something we create together. Because when we live fraternally, when we choose community, and when we show up for each other, we create something bigger than ourselves. And that is the good we share. And today's guest is someone who embodies that truth in every room she enters. Vanessa Harris is a leader, a mentor, a lifelong servant of community. She works with Girl Scouts. She's a proud member of Women's Life Chapter 817 in Southfield, Michigan. And she is someone whose words quite literally stopped me in my tracks. So Vanessa, welcome to the Good We Share podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. This is phenomenal. I'm so proud of you, Kate, for putting this podcast together. And what I've seen so far, it's just been amazing. I love it. I love it.
Oh, Vanessa, thank you. I love words of encouragement. You just spoke my love language. Thank you so much. All right, we will get into the moment that we met. But first, for our listeners who are meeting you for the first time, how do you describe who you are and what you care about?
Oh, well. I am a woman of God. I love God and I love his people or her people, however people look at God, whatever God is to them, but a higher power in my life. I've lived that all my life. And I've been in the pharmaceutical industry for over 30 years. And I'm kind of like retired, but I like to say I'm rewired. I am an entrepreneur. I've always had some type of, uh, uh, different organizations that I've worked with. I've been in sales and marketing all my life. I love marketing. I love people. So I'm definitely a people person. I'm an optimist. And I've had many different jobs that I've worked in. I've done a lot with community, a ton of work with community. Community activist is what I like to call myself. And as you mentioned, Girl Scouts and Women's Life. I'm also a president of an organization called Women Confronting Racism. I also work with an organization called Undivided that helps to break down the barriers. Rather we are whatever faith we're in is rather interfaith oriented. And it is definitely about using our voices, respecting one another, and just doing the right things about sharing our good, as you're saying. So I'm just really involved in a multi events and things.
How do you find enough hours in the day to do all these things? You keep yourself busy. And I love the rewired instead of retired. I think that's a great way to frame that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We had mentioned you do work with Girl Scouts and you're a member of Women's Life Chapter 817. What threads connect those two parts of your life together, or the other parts of your life with your professional experience too?
Well, thank you. I think that my heart has always gone out to children. I wasn't a Girl Scout initially, but I joined an organization that's part of Girl Scouts that was called Religious Relationships. And for about 2 years, I was working with them. And of course, they pulled me in. You need to be a Girl Scout troop leader. Okay, so because I love kids. I only have one, though. I have one daughter. She's 44 years old, and she's engaged and getting ready to get married next year. And I have one grandson, and he's 22 years old. So children, and they love me. I seem like a magnet, So when I talk about the correlation between Girl Scouts and Women's Life, my chapter, I think that planting those seeds are just so important to me. And when you have those little children, my Girl Scout troop, I have 20 girls since August in the Pontiac area, and they are a multi-faceted group. They are daisies all the way to ambassadors. And it's important to me that when you plant those seeds in children, they're going to grow up to be these phenomenal women in women's life. So the connection is growth and the environment and the atmosphere that we are producing for these children. that help them to develop to these great women. That women's life is about sharing, about financial literacy, and I'm teaching them that, little things about how to count money. So it's a great correlation between Girl Scouts and women's life.
I love that. And it's so inspirational. And I love that you are fueling future generations of women to just be bold and courageous and stand on their own. That I love
Thank
that,
you.
Vanessa.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I did see you give the invocation last fall at the Trusted Fraternal Celebration. That is a mouthful. And your words really stayed with me. Where does your sense of purpose come from?
I would think that from my upbringing, my mom and my dad met at the famous Aretha Franklin's father's church in Detroit, which was New Bethel Missionary. It was New Bethel Baptist Church, ran by a Aretha Franklin's father, Reverend Clarence Levon Franklin, and that just, being in that environment, in my family, my mom and my dad instilling in me that you are loved. We love you, we embrace you, we're helping to develop you into this kind, considerate person. So I want to give a lot of kudos to my family. And then from there, moving into, the high school that I went to was a well-known high school, Cass Technical High School in Detroit, very well known. And then going on to Eastern Michigan University, majoring in marketing and sales management. So I learned a lot about personality. I learned a lot about people, and the importance of embracing all people. That we need each other. So a lot of purpose came from that. I would say, from my family, my education, and then my career.
And is there a distinct moment you remember being called to lead or serve, or was this just something that you had always had in you and you realized this was your path?
It's so funny. I'm gonna tell you this little bit. My family, because it was just my brother and I, we loved to be around our cousins. And when we would get together with cousins, we would play games, and we would do like a special like games to show your talent, like a talent show. My nickname for the talent show was Professor.
Oh.
So I must have been very, and I said, well, but I was always gathering people together, and definitely, positioning myself to be the leader or the teacher, or and my brother, when he visits here from Atlanta, he likes to laugh and tease and tell his friends that my sister's home is like history, because she is so big in education and history. So I would say I definitely just got that from, my purpose, and my, just wanting to teach and lead and help people to understand, bring us all together.
And I'd say the brief moment I got to share with you, you embody that truly. And, just knowing where you come from really helps you figure out where you're going. If you don't have that sense of purpose, it's a struggle. So I can see that you embody that and you have been living that, which is amazing.
Thank you.
So I want to pivot a little bit and talk all things fraternal because you are a proud member of Women's Life Chapter 817.
Yeah.
What makes your chapter so unique?
We celebrated this year 17 years of being together. And my daughter, I pushed her, but she was our first president. And I'm gonna tell you that it started because of Crystal Mosier. And I gave kudos to Crystal at the conference, because I'm African American, and this white lady comes to me and shares with me about the fraternal organization of Women's Life, and the things that we could do in our community to bring, just education and camaraderie and love and peace, and just and they paid us at the time to get together and to have events. And so I was already doing a lot of events and things in the pharmaceutical industry as a senior, as a rep. So it was a perfect timing and perfect fit. And so Women's Life, it just helped us to form, this sisterhood. It was a wonderful sisterhood, and we were very diverse. My first 10 people were it was two Caucasian women, and then the rest of us was African American. And just and we're still together. Those 10 women are still with us today. So it was a bonding, it was an embracing, it was breaking down the barriers. Whatever we didn't understand or know about this one, that one, or the other, based on our age or based on our religion, it didn't matter. We were coming together as sisters. And that's what makes chapter 817 phenomenal. We come together, we work together, we embrace one another. We're there for sisters. And see, I don't have a sister, Kate. I don't know if you have a biological. I have a couple sisters that are my stepsisters, and I love them as sisters. But to have a biological sister and people that are here with me, Jatim, and that's our name, Jatim. We came up with that name because it was all about love. It was all about learning how to love one another and do good.
So much goodness in that statement there. First, shout out to Crystal Mosier for seeing the opportunity and bringing women together. Second, I do have a sister, and she would come knock me silly if I didn't recognize that. She's my older sister. I'll call her out for that. So yes, having her, but then also just having other women who feel like sisters and having that sisterhood, I really see why you connected with women's life. And the fact that you guys are still going strong and still meeting, and I love the diversity and that you're so inclusive. And you said je t'aime, and I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, which means I love you.
Yes.
So how does your chapter embody that phrase?
Jatim, the name just goes so much further than just love. You know, I think that it's easy for us to just say, I love you, but it's an action. It's an action word, which means that we have to show it. We have to see one another. I love it that I'm looking at you. I'm looking at your eyes. I can feel your spirit. I can see you. I can let you know that I hear you, that I'm listening to you, that what you're saying and what you're doing is important to me. It's not about me. It's about us. And it's about us coming together and bridging together, just working everything out for the good, for our good that we share together.
The marketing background of yours is coming in really well right now. I appreciate it.
I love it. I told you I love it. I love that title.
You mentioned your chapter is a family affair. You've been a member for 16 years. There's 3 generations involved in the chapter at one point.
Yes.
How has that shaped the way you show up in the chapter and in your community?
It's important that we have to appreciate. I've done a lot of studies on the baby boomers, the silent generation, millennials, generation X, Y, and Z, and now Alpha. So I've done a lot of research in that regard because we have to be able to communicate with one another effectively. And the way that we did it, in my generation, I'm a baby boomer, is not the same the way my grandson does it at 22. And to have that open communication, again, it goes back to a transformative mindset that everything must change. I'm a singer also, Kate. So that's one of my favorite songs, that everything must change. And yes, it may make us feel a little uncomfortable because I'm still learning this. That's why these devices and understanding all of this stuff, this technology, it's challenging, but it's reality. It's life. It's our future. And it's terrible if we try to put our heads in the sand and not embrace the challenges and get out of our comfort zone. A lot of it is people just don't want to get out their comfort zone. And we got to face that reality. So love, if love is important, you have to know that who you are And what you're doing is making a difference in those that see you, those that are around you. So your children, my daughter, my grandson. I don't have any greats yet, thank God. I don't want any greats yet. And he's not married and she so it's important that we recognize that we have to be good examples. We have to be good models. We have to tell the truth and pass it down to generations. We have to be, as I talked in my speech in a conference at Milwaukee, we have to be the spark. We have to be the spark that will ignite the love, the courage, the truth in our children, in our neighbors, in our community.
Your words, you're just so powerful. You're going to bring me to tears before this interview is over. I want to ask you, how has being part of women's life changed you personally?
Mm. It's empowered me. I've done big book studies. I've had we've collaborated with other chapters because again, I love teaching. I love history. I love to share. And I think that as we go through this world and through this life, and it's stuff that we don't like, stuff that we're not understanding, but we need to come together and sit in each other's company and converse and communicate. So it's made me to be a better woman, someone that's more self-reflective. That is always has not been easy to communicate with a group of women, and we've had men in our chapter too, and it hasn't always been easy. So I've had to learn Vanessa. I had to learn my personality. I did a lot of personality workshops with the chapter, and just it's just made me more developing as a leader, as a woman, and I love it. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to Women's Life, this fraternal organization, society that we're in.
You are currently, right now, in the midst teaching a masterclass on love and self reflection and how to be inclusive. So you are knocking it out of the park, Vanessa. I'm
Thank you.
so glad
Thank,
we're doing this.
thank you.
Let's circle back to the invocation last fall, which was powerful. And what was on your heart as you prepared those words?
It was such an honor. And again, I can reflect and go back to Crystal. Crystal is who suggested and referred me. And I thought, wow, thank you, thank you. Well, okay, let me get my thoughts together. What can I bring to, I don't know, 600 people in the room, all different ethnicities, different religions, male, female, the couples, I mean, just different generations. And what matters most to people is humanity. Human. Are we not, looking at one another as human beings? Are we not trying to, every one of us trying to live a life that's comfortable and a quality of life and have a shelter and good, a home and food and family and, what do we all have in common? And if we can understand those things about each other, then okay, we can embrace, we can enjoy one another. We can hug. I'm a hugger. I love to hug people. I love meeting people. So can we embrace one another? Can we let our light shine towards one another? Can we feel the light in our brothers and in our sisters? Can we encourage them to shine their light? Because it's in us. It's in each and every one of us. It is the good that we share. It is the good. And I know I'm using it, but I see it. I mean, I feel it. It's there. I'm happy to embrace it and to give it back, to let you know how powerful it is. That we are the spark. We are the light. And I thought, okay, this is what this is what I'm going to share and talk about. And it was so funny because I had to rewire my speech as my invocation to the gentleman that was pulling this all together. And he was saying, Vanessa, you're taking the speakers, you're taking his thunder. And then even I can't remember his name. Kate, you have to help me. The president.
John Borgen.
Yes, John came over to me and hugged me, and Vanessa, oh my God, this was the oh my God, you taking my speech, but it was so much love. It was so welcoming for me. Again, Kate, as an African American female, and the things that I've been through as a woman, to have this white, big, tall, handsome a president of the company come over and say, Vanessa, that was fantastic. It was just such an honor. It was so humbling for me. It was such a blessing.
And I feel like I can say this on behalf of John that he meant that. He, speaks with truth and authenticity. But your words, as soon as you started speaking, I nudged our CEO, Allison. I was like, I have to have her on the podcast. It's happening. I don't care when or where, but we're going to make this happen because truly your words, they lit a spark for me, and I know they lit a spark for so many others in the room that night. So keep on keeping on, as they like to say. And one thing that you said during that, because I went back and I watched the video, you said that strong communities don't just happen, they're built by ordinary people rising to extraordinary needs.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. How do you see that play out in the work that you do?
It's a must. It's an action. We have to make a difference in all of the challenges and the things that we go through, the trials, the tribulations. We must come together to make a difference. And again, as a singer, I sing this song that's called Just Ordinary People. When God can put a little in your hand, he can make it much. So the little spark that I have, Kate, when I can bring it to you, and then you spark it and bring it to someone else. I mean, it blasts. There are blasts that we do. We make a tremendous impact. And that's what I endeavor to do with my life, with my friends, my family, my community. We have to come together. We need each other. It's not something that we could just sit on our hands and think it's going to just happen for us, or somebody gonna give it to us. No, no, it takes boots on the ground.
That's right. Yes, you're
It takes
right.
boots on the ground.
It does.
Rolling up our sleeves. Yes.
And that's the fraternal impact at its,
Yes.
at the basic level. We talked a little bit about je t'aime, I love you, and making I love you actionable. And in a world that can feel heavy, how do you encourage people to embody that and to not give up on love?
We have to have hope. No matter what, we need to take down a lot of our judgmental spirits and attitudes and know that love is not naive. Love is strategic. It has to be planned. We have to come out of our comfort and do it. When we have to stand up, let our voices be heard. We have to speak to one another. We have to, not be ashamed. It was so many people that came up to me, whether I was walking up the hallways or walking into the bathroom, that hugged me and just said how much they appreciated what I said. Just think if we can do that on a daily basis. On a daily basis, that it requires courage. It requires us to, know that who we are and what's in us is meant to be a blessing and to help someone else. We're not to hold it to ourselves. We are there to help one another.
Well, I stepped out of my comfort zone by asking you to be on this podcast because I was like, I'm going to walk up to her, introduce myself, a perfect stranger, and be like, will you be on my podcast? And you didn't hesitate 1 second.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
How do you stay grounded when the world feels heavy? What do you do to keep Vanessa churning and burning and just bringing the light to the world?
Thank you for asking. I love mindfulness. I make myself, Kate, I had a brain bleed stroke in 2023.
Oh my gosh.
I was stopped in my tracks. And my doctors and everyone that know me say, "Oh my God, Vanessa, you're a miracle. And you have no signs and symptoms of having a stroke, a brain bleed stroke." They say 80% of the people don't live. And then 20%, only 10% are paralyzed. And then the other 10% are like me. So I said, Lord, it had to be through prayer, through mindfulness. I have to make myself slow down because, like you said earlier, Vanessa, how do you do this? Um, I make myself relax. I go through mindfulness, breathing. I told my daughter this morning because she's getting overwhelmed with wedding plans, and I says, Chrissy, you're gonna need to inhale on 4 seconds and exhale, breathing out for 6 seconds. Inhale through your nose 4 seconds. Breathe it out through your mouth 6 seconds. And I'm making myself relax. Just. I don't watch TV, Kate. I hardly ever watch TV. I don't even know how to use the controls. I have those things, but I don't because it's so much stress. And I'm constantly telling people I can see the alerts on my phone if it's something I need to run and hide. But I don't want to hear all of the horrible. It's discouraging for me. So I want to give hope. I'm an optimist. I'm always looking at the glass as being half full, not half empty. And then I look at it as overflowing because of the love that we have to show towards others.
You find those moments of gratitude, don't you?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely. Thankfulness.
Thankful. Yes.
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 Very thankful.
It helps you get through the day much easier when you appreciate
Absolutely.
all
Yes.
that you have. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So let's pivot a little bit and talk a
Okay.
little bit about leadership, legacy, and the next generation. You get to help shape young leaders, young women every day. What do you hope that they carry forward?
To know that there's something great inside of them. As I mentioned, I have a 22-year-old grandson. Powerful young man. Sends me a daily encouragement every day. He is putting together, and he gives credit to me and his mom all the time because we know that it's important that we instilled kindness. Be kind, be loving and courageous in who you are, but don't think more highly of yourself. Don't be arrogant. If you have nice things, that's nice. You know that you have those things, but don't be a bragger. Don't be a bully. You know, treat people right. Treat people kind the way you want to be treated. So that's always been my mantra with him. Uh, and with other young people. I'm telling you, Kate, I have young people that, oh my goodness, they're adults and have their own children, but they love to still come to my home. My home, Kate, is like a healing retreat. I have women, I have men. I'm also a biblical counselor, so I do a lot of consultations and but my home is it's a ranch home in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and people come and they say it was just so much peace, and so I'm always I'm big in hospitality. I believe that it's important that we invite people in. I've had all kinds of ethnicities, all kinds of cultures to come into my home. And some of the first things they'll say is the peace, the tranquility. You know, I feel so comfortable, and I have pictures and artwork all over my home, and my family is everywhere. So, yeah, I want to let the young people know they have hope. You know, to use your voice, the power of your voice. A matter of fact, I'm going to be, and I'm hoping maybe you can even come. A conference that I'm a part of. I'm a president of Women Confronting Racism. We're having a conference it's a Friday, April the 24th,
Okay.
and it's going to be entitled "The Cost of Our Silence:
Oh,
colon, the Power of Voice." The cost of our silence. So as you're saying, what do I want to give? I want to give people the courage and the wherewithal to use their voice. Yeah.
again, you pack so much into that. We will connect on that conference after this recording because I want to know more. But I love the lead with kindness and sharing that with the younger generation because I have 3 young boys and they are many things, but at their core, I try to remind them that kindness is the way forward, and then we will figure out the rest
Yes. Yes.
because
Yes.
you can at least come to the table with kindness. You can lead appropriately. I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And being a reflective mother, reflective listening, to let them know that you hear them, that how they feel is important. And you're teaching and you're training them to be kind stewards of their lives. Yeah.
I hope so. I think that's every mother's wish is to make sure we're raising good human beings, right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so I have one final question for you.
Okay. Okay.
This month is Women's History Month. Woohoo to us ladies. If you could whisper one truth to every woman stepping into leadership or just every woman in general, what would it be? What would you say?
You are enough. You are powerful beyond what you think. Being a soft, beautiful human being does not mean weakness. You are controlling power through your beauty, through your eyes, how God has made you. Be courageous. Let your voice be heard. And with all the kindness and the love that you can, exemplify. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean you're not going to have some roadblocks, some mountains you have to climb. I mean, some difficult days. Understand that. And I think sometimes some of us have done a disservice to think that, oh, we're going to just skip through the tulips. No, no. The reality is that we have to surround ourselves with truth, with people that's going to be truthful with us and to empower us and help lift us up to where we belong, and not in jealousy, not in trying to, I'm not going to tell Kate what to do or how to do because she'll take my dream. No, no, no. You are more than enough. You are powerful beyond what you can imagine or think.
Those words, that was a lot of inspiration. And those words, for me especially, and I'm sure for everyone who will be listening to this, will leave a mark and, continue to guide us forward, Vanessa. You are an inspiration. Thank you for your heart, your leadership, your spark, and for the way that you remind us that love is not passive, it's active, it's generational, and it's the good we choose to share.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Any parting words you have to share with our listeners or
Well, just kudos to this platform. Kudos for this voice being heard. Kudos to you, Kate, and your vision and your mind to explore and open up and bring people together. I'm just so grateful for you, and thank you so much for your courage, getting out of your comfort zone to come over to me and say, Miss Vanessa, could you please come? Thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you. And thank you for everything that you brought today, for being so flexible and generous with your time. I know you obviously have a lot to do and you are impacting lives every day. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I hope for everyone listening that they carry a little of Vanessa's light with them and that they notice the sparks around them and maybe even start a spark of their own, because this is the good we share. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm Kate Schaefer. Until next time, please keep showing up with intention, keep choosing community, and keep amplifying the good that we share.